Hello students, I hope you all are doing well. In this video we will continue with the topic types of forces from chapter 11 force and pressure. Different types of forces we are going to notice in our everyday life, and all these forces are actually divided into two main groups: contact forces and non-contact forces. Let's start with contact forces. By the term contact itself, you can say a force which can be exerted means applied by an object on another object only through physical touching is called a contact force. Means there should be physical touch, contact between the two, the one who is applying the force and on the one on which we are going to apply the force, and such type of forces can be termed as contact forces. Under contact forces, we are going to learn in this chapter two forces: muscular force and frictional force, or friction, you can say. Okay, so let's have the first one: muscular force. Just suppose of a situation: a book is lying on a table, and you have to, what you can do to apply the force on it, you can lift the book or you can push the book. So while lifting or pushing, the force is exerted by the muscles of your arm. Okay, if you are going to lift also or if you are going to push also, you have to make use of your arm, and through arm the muscles is the one which is going to exert the force on it. Similarly, just assume another situation: when we kick a football, the force is exerted by the muscles of our leg. The force exerted by the muscles of the body is called muscular force. And students, this muscular force is exerted by both human beings also as well as animals also. The muscular force acts inside our body also to perform various functions required for our survival. For example, all of you know the process of digestion. Okay, it is the muscular force which pushes the food through the alimentary canal. The expansion and contraction of lungs when we inhale and exhale air during breathing also involves the muscular force. And the beating of the heart muscles, it also takes place due to the muscular force of the cardiac muscles. So I hope you all understood about the muscular force here. Okay. And regarding animals, if we will say, you all know that ox, camel, and horse are many other animals which provide the force by their muscles, and it is used in that pulling the carts or in doing some other work also. Okay, so since muscular force can be applied to an object only when our body is in direct contact with the object, therefore it is an example of a contact force. Remember this now. Muscular force is a type of contact force because whenever we have to apply our muscular force or animal is going to apply the muscular force, there should be a direct contact on which we have to apply the force with that object. Okay, means suppose a hockey player have to hit the ball, through hockey stick we are applying our muscular force only. Okay, so it can be like this also. Okay, next force is frictional force, or you can say force of friction or simply friction. So as you all know, a ball moving on the ground slows down gradually. Whenever you will throw a ball in the ground, it slows down gradually, धीरे से रुक जाता है and stops after covering some distance. And how it is stops, what it means, what is there which stop this moving body? It is the force exerted by the ground on this moving ball, and this force is actually opposing its motion and brings it to stop. मीन्स जो फोर्स ग्राउंड से एग्जर्ट हो रहा है वो उसके मोशन को, मूवमेंट को रोकता है एंड उसको स्टॉप कर देता है, मीन्स रोक लेता है, उसकी मूवमेंट्स को अपोज करता है और रोक लेता है. सो दिस फोर्स विच अपोजेस द मोशन ऑफ द बॉल ऑन द ग्राउंड is known as frictional force. To get it understand it in a more better way, you can take other examples also. You all used to run the bicycle, so while running the bicycle you used to paddle it, and if you will stop paddling, what will happen? It will slows down, your bicycle is going to slows down and it gets stop after covering some distance. So why it happens? It is due to the frictional force between the tires of the bicycle and the road. Okay, and you can take one more example. When we stop rowing a boat which is moving in water, it again slows down and then stops. So this time there is a force of friction is acting between the boat and the water. Okay, between the boat surface and the water. So the frictional force always acts on all the moving objects, and its direction is always opposite to the direction of motion. Frictional force arises only when the two surfaces of the two objects are in touch with each other, means they are in direct contact. Therefore, frictional force is also an example of contact forces. I hope muscular force and frictional force both is clear to you. So the next category of forces is non-contact forces. By the term itself, you can define it a force which can be exerted by an object on another object, even from a distance, means without any physical touching, is called a non contact force. So, there is a no physical contact between the object which exert the force and the object on which force is exerted. And the types of forces which we are going to study under this group is magnetic force, electrostatic force, and gravitational force. Let's first start with magnetic force. Students, you all know very well, if we bring a magnet near iron nails or pins, the magnet pulls them towards it. It means the magnet exerts a kind of a force on them, and the force exerted by a magnet is called magnetic force. The magnetic force acts even from a distance. Since a magnet can exert its magnetic force on objects from a distance even without touching them, therefore it is an example of non-contact force. A magnet also exerts a magnetic force on another magnet placed near it. You all are aware of it, students. There is a magnetic force of repulsion between the like poles of two magnets, and there is a magnetic force of attraction between the unlike poles of two magnets. So now we are going to do an activity 11.6 to show that the magnetic force of attraction as well as repulsion is there between two bar magnets. What you have to do is take two bar magnets and place one bar magnet over three round pencils. That round pencil will act as a roller and hold another bar magnet. Now what you have to do, bring the north pole of the magnet which you hold towards the south pole of magnet which is placed on the roller. And you will observe that the magnet which is placed on the roller, it moves towards your magnet, and it shows that both the magnets are going to attract each other. So it is expressing the magnetic force of attraction between the two magnets. Now you just do another change the situation. What you will do, the first magnet should be placed on the roller itself and just rotate the magnet which you hold. Now bring the south pole of the magnet which you hold towards the south pole of the magnet placed on the roller. Now means both the poles should be same. South is facing towards south, and you will observe that the roller magnet is going to begin to move away from the magnet which you held in your hand. Okay, it means the like poles of the magnets exert a magnetic force of repulsion. Okay, both the rules are clear to you. The unlike poles are going to show the rule of magnetic force of attraction, and the like poles are going to prove the magnetic force of repulsion between each other. Magnetic force are widely used in our everyday life, students. Many toys make use of these magnets. The magnetic strips are there in between that refrigerator doors, if you will observe that. Then many magnetic stickers are there which will get adhere to the wardrobe and all. So we are having lots of uses of magnetic force and examples in our everyday life. The next which we are going to deal is electrostatic force. Electro stand for the electric charges, positive and negative charges. You all are aware of that. Okay. And static means the stationary. So if the charges will be stationary, we call it, and the force is exerting, we call it as an electrostatic force. So how we are going to define? The force exerted by an electrically charged object is called electrostatic force. Now what is an electrically charged object? An object having stationary electric charges on it is called electrically charged object. Okay, an object having stationary electric charges on it is called electrically charged object, and the force exerted by this object is called electrostatic force. To get it more clear, let's have an example. Take a plastic comb and few pieces of paper. Bring that comb near the pieces of paper. You will find there is means no changes is there. Neither that paper is attracting towards the comb. Nothing is going to be happen. Okay. Now rub that comb in your hair for some time. After then again bring it near the pieces of paper. Now you will find this time that that tiny pieces of paper is attracting towards the plastic comb. So in the second situation, the plastic comb is acting like an electrically charged object, okay, which is exerting a force of electrostatic force, and that electrostatic force is attracting the pieces of paper. Now there is one more activity given in your book 11.7 to get it more clear, the concept of electrostatic force. Okay, what you have to do, you have to take two plastic straw. One straw you have to suspend it with the help of any thread so that it should not touch here and there on a desk. Okay, and another straw, take another straw and rub the free end of that straw which you are having in your hand with a sheet of paper, and bring that rubbed part near the straw which is suspended. You will find that both the straw are going to attract each other. Okay. Now what rub the suspended straw also with the piece of paper, and again bring the straw which you held in which you hold over there, bring again close to that straw which is suspended. Now this time you will find both the straw are going to repel each other. Okay, why is it so? Because on rubbing, both the straw acquires a kind of a charges. In first case, the straw which you was held, you are going to hold, is going to attract the other one because the other one is uncharged. So the force exerted by the charged body on another charged body, another uncharged body, it was like the situation. Okay, and in second case, your straw was charged and another straw was also charged because we rubbed both, and this time also both are exerting kind of force on each other, but same type of charges was there, no? That's why they were repelling each other. So the force exerted by a charged body on another charged or uncharged body is known as electrostatic force, and as it is electrostatic force comes into play even when the bodies are not in contact, therefore it is also an example of non-contact force. And now the last type of force which we are going to deal under this category is gravitational force. Students, whenever you are going to drop anything from a height, a piece of stone, a ball, a coin, anything, it falls down towards the ground. And why it happens so? Because the earth is exerting a kind of a force, that is gravitational force, and the gravitational force is a force of attraction. The force with which the earth pulls these objects towards it is called the force of gravity, or you can simply say gravity. Gravity is a natural force of attraction, children. It used to attract everything towards it. And as the gravitational force acts on an object from a distance without any physical contact between them, therefore it is also an example of non-contact forces. I hope the different types of forces are clear to you.